Hey everyone, this is Christopher Brown here again from alphalifestyleacademy.com, and over the last couple of videos or so, what we've been talking about is this subject of optimizing your brain to make more money. So what we're going to talk about in today's video is the personality traits. The personality traits that not is the greatest predictor of wealth in this case, but the personality traits that actually sabotage yourself and actually ruin your chance of success. So again, just as a reminder, if you haven't done so already, I'm going to invite you to take our performance-based personality test, because again, there are two personality traits that are the greatest predictors of wealth. So first of all, you'll take our performance-based personality test to see if you have these personality traits, and if you don't, with our program, How to Optimize Your Brain to Make More Money, we will show you the latest neurological research and what the latest scientific research shows on how we can cultivate these personality traits. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment, imagine a graph. And at one end of the graph, you have agreeableness, and at the other end of the graph, you have conscientiousness. So if you're overly agreeable, it's going to hurt you because you're not going to be willing to stand up and fight in your own behalf. Now, on the other end of it, if you're overly conscientious, you're going to offend people. You're going to tick some people off. So you don't want to be overly agreeable and you don't want to be overly conscientious. Both of those are bad. So you want to be right there in the middle. Now, again, if you're overly agreeable, what's going to happen is you're going to be unwilling to stand up in your own defense. And so you're going to wimp out and people are going to take advantage of you, and that's going to cause resentment with yourself. Now, on the other hand, people who are conscientious, not always overly conscientious, they're going to give you some tough love. And they're not trying to offend you intentionally. It just might happen because you are an overly agreeable person. Now, some of the positive sides of being an agreeable person is they're very compassionate, they're empathetic. But again, the downside of it, they're unwilling to stand up for themselves. And people who are highly agreeable don't want to go and ask for things. They just want things to happen. And so they'll also say, because I did XYZ for you, you should do ABC for me. And if they don't get that ABC, then they become resentful and then they become manipulative. Now, many times people become overly agreeable because of different traumas that they have in their life. And so they calm down and really trying to get people to like them. That's their main goal. They want people to like them. And to get things what we want, yeah, we don't want to be jerks and we don't want to be assholes, but we don't want to be overly nice either, because at that point people will walk all over us. So again, people who are overly agreeable, they have experienced some sort of trauma. A lot of times they have what is called as a codependency disorder, and that a lot of time comes from alcoholic parents and parents who were addicted to drugs. Now, I have a codependency disorder, and I've narrowed it down. It wasn't from my parents who were alcoholics and drug addicts, but my grandparents were. And so my grandfather was an alcoholic, left my grandma. My grandma then raised my father, and so my father now raises me based upon the personality of a codependency disorder. So let me explain this, let me break this down for you, okay? So let's say you're on the job, right? And an agreeable person, they're at work, but they're not really performing up to their potential. So a conscientious person will say, what's going on with you? They're not always going to be assholes. If they're overly conscientious, they will, but they're going to try to work with them. And they'll say to the agreeable person, what's going on with you? Why aren't you pulling your weight at work? And the agreeable person will say, well, I don't feel good. My father died. My mother's sick. You know, some sort of story of why they have some stress in their life, okay? But the conscientious person is going to come back at them and say, but you got a job to do. It doesn't matter those things. Now, again, this is where an agreeable person and somebody who is overly conscientious does not see eye to eye, and they will both irritate each other. But what we need to do, Because again, one of the greatest predictors of wealth is conscientiousness. Now, you don't want to be overly conscientious. Having at least a portion of your personality being agreeable is very good. The same thing with being conscientious. You don't want to be overly conscientious, and you don't want to be overly agreeable. So what we want to invite you to do, again, if you haven't done so already, we want to invite you to take our performance-based personality test. Because again, there are two personality traits that are the greatest predictors of wealth. And so if you don't have these personality traits, we're going to help you to cultivate them. And if you're overly agreeable, which is what I used to be, we'll show you how to gradually become conscientious, not overly conscientious, because again, we're not going to turn you into a-holes, but you want to start becoming conscientious. Now, once you do that, you'll also get access to our program, which is entitled How to Optimize Your Brain to Make More Money, because again, one of the reasons that people are agreeable is because of past traumas. And so we're going to need to heal from that. And we have taken some of the latest neurological research on how to heal from that and how to optimize your brain. And so if you're watching this video on our website, you'll find a link for it down below directly underneath this video. You'll also find a link on YouTube as well. Now, Dr. Daniel Amen from the Amen Clinic, who's done over 83,000 brain scans on people, what he has found is that those people who have healthy brains are healthier, happier, wealthier, wiser, more creative, and more innovative. And so if you don't have the life that you want today, it's because that your brain is toxic. It's because your brain is not functioning at its full capability. I even know that I have this issues, and that's how I got involved in this even in the first place, because I'm trying to fix my own brain, and I saw how it was hampering me and impacting my life. Again, first of all, we're going to look at the two personality traits that are the greatest predictors of wealth and how to cultivate them. We're then going to look at how to optimize our brain to make more money, which is by detoxing our brain and getting our brain to perform at its highest. Then we'll look at how past traumas and other issues impact your life and how they self-sabotage yourself and how you will heal from those. But again, if you're watching this video on our website, you'll find a link for that down below directly underneath this video. As well, if you're watching it on YouTube, you'll find it in the same place. But take care, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you in our next video. And it is starting to pour right now, so I'm heading into that hotel behind me. But take care, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.